Hi, and welcome to the book launch. This is Kay Reeve, emotional awareness expert and author. And I've got two guests with me so far. So if anybody else is looking out, I hope they're joining in soon. But if not, we're going to have a great evening and go through the schedule anyway. And it's going to be put on YouTube later for everyone to catch up with. So let me know whether you were catching up on the replay, what you thought. But for now, we're going to crack on. So hi, Mark. How are you doing?
Hello, nice to be here. Thanks, Kay.
Oh, good. So yes, thank you ever so much, guys, for joining me here tonight on the launch for my next book, Mindfulness with Flowers. So that is the main reason that I've invited everybody here. The main reason, she says, but there's more. But one of the reasons I'm here for that, I just want to go back a little bit, that this has been a long journey for me up to this point, in that this journey for me has been going on for around 9 years, starting with developing a strategy for helping my son with emotional awareness to overcome depression and suicidal thoughts. Over time, I've tried to envelop that into well-being for the whole family, and that's going to be an expanding vision. But tonight, this whole point about bringing mindfulness in is, I know firsthand that when we're dealing with teenagers that are stressed, anxious, and depressed, parents need a little bit of well-being care too, but not just parents of teenagers, although that was my original mission, but everybody needs to be able to find that little bit of peace of mind from time to time. And that is why I have brought together this mindfulness book, so that helps everybody with their well-being. And another part of my journey that actually goes way back far further than even having my son was my first ever conversation with a careers tutor, when she said, "So, Kay, what do you want to do when you leave school?" And I said, "I want to be a photographer." And she said, "Forget it, there's no money in that, pick something else." And so that got put to the side, and that remained my kind of background hobby for many years. But I've somehow still collected thousands of photographs on my computer because I can't stop clicking the camera. And now it just seems that that's come full journey with a lot of other things that I've sort of traversed through in life, with the admin and the parenting and having this photography hobby over the years, that's now all come together in my vision of where I wanted to be with the wellbeing site. So I'm going to, without further ado, just briefly show on screen. This is my new book, Mindfulness with Flowers. Now, this is my proof copy, so that band won't be on the official copy, and I'm going to pull it up on the website in a bit. But thank you guys for supporting us. It's honestly, you two guys here tonight, thank you so much for supporting me on my journey here. And I will bring more of that up on the website in a minute. But Mindfulness with Flowers has been a labour of love that should have been released last year, before I had health issues where my head went downhill very quickly. And it's been a big fight back to be able to do this year. But it is here. It is here. And not only is it here, but back in January, February, as I started to prepare, I realised there were some issues with my website. And my website at the time was hosted in Wix. And there was a conversation I'd had about 3 years ago with a certain gentleman where I said, if I ever want to rebuild my website, I will give you a call. And the next day, Mark and I were already on a Zoom call. And here we are now with a brand new website that is far superior to the one I've had for the last 3 years. And not only is this on there, but a lot more. So without much ado, I'm just going to bring up the website and bring that onto screen. And hopefully, oh, hang on, I need to share screen, don't I? Actually, before I bring that on screen, is there anything, Mark, that you would like to say about the web build? Let's just, come on, let's build this up today. Come on. We're not going to just rush in and throw it at them. We're going to make them wait. They made me wait. They're going to make them wait.
It was a pleasure to work on. And it's good because we took something that was pretty easy to recreate, very much a normal kind of layout. And then, there were a few curveballs and side swipes and things to get around. And it took a little bit of imagination. We had to find some really cool plugins to help us do what we wanted to do. and I'm really happy with the end result. And, you know, part of that was making it for you, the end user, nice and easy to kind of work with as well. And isn't it nice not hitting paywalls every 2 seconds when you want to do something? That's
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, that's a big part of it, I think. But yeah, it's been a pleasure to work on. It's been fun.
Great, thank you. No, thanks, Mark. Honestly, it has been. I know I've challenged you, and I know you've challenged me.
It's my job.
Yeah, we've had some fun on the Zoom calls doing this, um, but it has brought together the vision that I had about 7 years ago, and I feel like now that is what I'm going to present tonight, is that vision that I had back then that I could never quite achieve on my own. And honestly, I really value the teamwork that you've put in with me, so thank you.
You're
Um,
welcome.
so with that, I'm going to share my screen and I am going to bring this website online. And it is, I'm going to share the one we're on and then I'll bring it across. Right. Didn't realize how many things I'd got open. And here we go. So this is the new website that Mark has amazingly helped me build. It also required copying and writing or rewriting around 50 to 60,000 words by the time I vamped it up from the old website. So it's been a tremendous amount of work and a real labour of love to get this going. Oh, that was the other thing I meant to talk about this morning, this thing, but we'll come back to that, Mark, remind me. I'll point it out in a minute. I know there was something else. So we've tried to create it as bright, as bold, very user-friendly, and everything that you need as the core subjects are here on your homepage. All little flashy buttons, so you just pick what you want. Or if you like to go traditional or you're on a mobile phone, sometimes it's easier, is you've got all little drop-down menus along the top. So home is obviously the page we're on. We've got books, and I now have a list of books. We've transcended beyond Brain Unchained. That's still my core book at the moment, but we have definitely progressed since then. I've then got courses, which breaks down into categories, media, which is like news articles, blog, which is mainly focused on parenting teens, all my links to my social media and TEDx talk, etc. And then on here, I've got all things like newsletter sign up, mentoring. We've now got brand new today. Nobody's seen this yet, have they, Mark? Nobody's seen this yet. I've now got booking online sessions. So if you want a one-to-one with me for a discovery call or a mentoring session, you can book that online here. And then on the shop, there is a few products. We'll come back to that later, but we've got all your cookie policies, etc., and all your little legal bits under this one. And you can also break down through the courses and events. So any future events, you can book them in here as well. So anybody who struggled to get on the event tonight, please in future go in and book them. This is where I'll put them, and then book your way in through there. And then my account, because once you've signed up to things like courses or you've purchased products, you'll need the My Account button to get back in, just to access any purchases that you've had, to download any freebies. Yeah, so that's basically the new user-friendly website. It is all there. So for today, we're going to go to all books. This is the next one. So although I've showed you the book up here, it's going to be a lot more bright and cheerful to show you on here. And this is one of the things I was so proud of when we made this page, was the bookshelf. I now have a bookshelf with all the books that I have or will be publishing. And actually these three here that say coming soon, I knew I'd forget something today. So today we are launching Mindfulness with Flowers. So I'm going to view the synopsis on here, because this is what we're working on. And Mindfulness with Flowers, here we go. So it's a 7 by 10 inch book. It has this matte cover. And there's something about the cover feels really nice. And every time I actually hand this to somebody, they go, oh, it feels nice. And I don't know what it is. So that's the first thing. It's very tactile and cuddly. I've never known a book to be cuddly before. It's a strange feeling, but it feels cuddly. So that's the first thing, is the details about the book for all of my books are now very easily findable through the bookshelf or through the links at the top. and all the main information's here, and the link of where to buy it on Amazon. Boom, there it is, everything you need. If you want to know more, then I'm not going to read it all out tonight. You can come back and read. And if you need to, if you don't like reading, you can get these little read apps that you put in your browser bar that will read for you. I like them because I can shut my eyes and listen as well. So there's the synopsis there that tells you about what's in the book. The launch for today, I will have to remove that after today, and we'll put in the video of the launch. We'll do that. That's what I'll do, Mark. I'll put the video there in place of that one.
Perfect.
And then we've got a little bit here about the series, because Mindfulness with Flowers is part of another vision that came together for me last year when I saw it as a vision of the sequel to Darker Than Dark. So I now have 2 matching books, which I love the thought of. And Darker Than Dark was my first mindfulness photo book. And again, filled with photographs that go all the way through to bright colour at the end. Well, they don't look very colourful, the ones I picked there. But there's lots of very exciting photographs. And there we go, nice more colourful one there. So I had a vision of this being a whole series of books with different topics. Like moving on, I want to do mindfulness with crystals, mindfulness with teddy bears or scenery or pretty lights. I've got this whole list of titles I could do. So although they may not all cut, well, they're not going to come out this year. I've got a lot on this year. But over the years to come, this is a series that can just continually grow for as long as I can continue to write them. So I've got lots of ideas for these, and even some ideas for collaborating with people on those. So that is the mindfulness book that is coming out. And like I say, my website is kayreeve.co.uk, nice and easy. And then this is the bit that I told everybody I had a surprise tonight. Not just launching one book, and these should be linked, and I did the other page, but I forgot to do this page. These first 3 notebooks are now also all available on Amazon as well, to go with the mindfulness series. So these are 100-page notebooks, and instead of the white paper of the mindfulness books, they've got cream paper, so it's easier on the eyes for writing. Lined paper, and it's just simply 100 pages plus a page at the front for writing your name and contact details, and then you can write quotes, put stickers, doodles, whatever you want on the first 2 blank pages, and personalize the inside of your notebook. But other than that, this is just a luxury paperback notebook. It's simplicity but luxury in one. So it's not going to have all the spiral bounds and weird, funny shaped bits to stick out and catch and everything. But it's just a nice, easy keep book that wherever you're using it, you've got a moment of mindfulness with the cover before you even begin writing. And imagine putting a mindfulness book with a mindfulness notebook together as a gift. That's going to be an incredible gift for a birthday, whether it's Christmas, whatever it is. Somebody's passed their exams or passed the driving test, and whatever reason it is, there's endless reasons to give somebody a gift. So I can imagine them going together. And then there's a little bit more to that, and I'm going to come back to that one. It doesn't stop there, but Mark and I didn't get quite as far as finishing our mission this morning. And we got some more research to do, but I will come back to that one. So anybody who's looking to purchase the book tonight, I've got some special offers in a bit or over the next few days. And anyone who leaves a review, if you can on Amazon, reviews are great, but I would also like to get some reviews on the website, whichever is best for you. And this is what I mean, Mark, this doesn't go full width and sit on the bottom. So every time you see one of these on the website, I've tried to just put little snippets of me that are relative to that page, about why that page is important to me and how I can help you. So going back to the book, let's click through and go onto Amazon. I should have just stayed on that page, really. So here we go, on Amazon, Mindfulness with Flowers, front cover. Can zoom in, look at that. Wow. I love that, those raindrops on that. It's so refreshing. But at the same time, It was just something about that flower to me that just glows, even though it's a dull, rainy day. It just shone. And that's how I want to feel, no matter what the weather, what the day's like. I want to just shine. And that flower gave me that feeling. So that's why that one made the cover. So we've got Mindfulness with flowers there. It is available in paperback, hardback, and on Kindle. So they're all available there, and the same for Darker Than Dark. And any point you want to check all of the books out, click on Kay Reeve author, and it will take you to my Amazon profile, in which case you will then come across all of the books that I've published. Now, the notebooks are published and they are available to buy, but it's just going to take another day or two for them to show on this profile. So all of the books I've released so far are on here, including my original Brain Unchained. So jumping back to the website, jumping back here, books, I'm just going to jump down to notebooks. And this is the 3 notebooks that will be coming out. Well, actually are already available to buy on Amazon now, along with the Mindfulness with Flowers. And the rest here are designs that I am working on that over the next couple of months will all become available too. So there is plenty of choice here as gifts to put together with that mindfulness book. Yes, oh, I've just realised somebody else is trying to get in. They've probably been waiting ages. Right. I'm so busy chatting there, I wasn't watching the participant list. So, all right, here he comes. Hi, Jeff. So yes, I'm amazed. I'm just really chuffed with these, because all of these, or most of these, are actually from photographs that are in the mindfulness book. And so for me, that's what makes them so complimentary. As a notebook, I've kept them exactly the same size as Mindfulness with Flowers. There you are. Hi, Jeff. So I'll just say a quick hello as you're here. Sorry,
okay,
I haven't
sorry,
realised there was a blue button sitting there. I was so busy chatting away. I hope I haven't kept you waiting too long.
No problem, no problem.
Thank you for joining us. Yes, just doing a run through of the books and the website, and anything you've missed we'll catch up with on YouTube later on. So that'll all come up on YouTube. But no, thank you. So yes, so these are the 3 notebooks that are currently available, and the rest will follow soon. But every single one of these are from my photo collection, and I've got loads, I've got hundreds more I could add, but I had to really restrain myself and keep it down to these 12. And then I've got to move on and do something else, but these 12 will be coming out probably sometime between now and Christmas, so they'll be available. So yeah, the poppy, a lot of the flowers were taken in my own garden, apart from the water lily. I took that in my dad's garden in his pond. The bumblebee was also in my dad's garden. It was a buddleia that I think my mum owned. But then we've got a couple of scenery ones I've thrown in just to give something different, because some people might not want to have things too complementary, a bit of difference. Scenery of Hunstanton Beach. The scenery up here of the lavender one, so I'm jumping around, there's a reason, is one that I took in Norway. I had a trip to Norway and was whisked up by a friend up to the 5-star islands up the coast. And there we sat about 10, 11 o'clock at night watching the sun go down in the summer, and I got this incredible lavender sunset that is very rare to see from the UK. I've only ever once seen a sunset that lavender in the UK. And that is not adjusted at all. That's exactly as I took it. So that one, I've got something else to tell you about that in a minute. And this last one here, just to be a bit quirky, the Scotsman in a kilt. Why would I put that on there? Just because some of them are, the notebooks are the mindfulness flowers, and some of them my travels. But as travels, I took a camper van all the way to Scotland, to the furthest west corner of Scotland that I could possibly drive this camper van. And we pulled up, walked down to the beach, and I was taking photographs, and a Scotsman in a kilt walked across the beach and stood right in the middle. So I took a photograph of him, and that's this picture. But I really love that photo. It was, to me, one of the best ones of the holiday. What are the chances of driving all the way to Scotland to see a Scotsman in a kilt standing on the beach taking pictures of a Scottish beach. It was certainly not one I'd expected, but one of my favourite photographs out of my travels, as well as the lavender sunset. So that is the notebooks that are coming out. So just jumping back down here to the, oh, bear with me, Mindfulness with Flowers. So again, that complements this. And we're saying about buying on Amazon. I will put a link to Amazon and to the website under the video when I upload to YouTube eventually. So that will be up later tomorrow. And like I said, I will also link the YouTube video back in place of the booking card once it's ready. So bear with me for a day or two while I do these little bit of tweaks and works. Marc has been, again, amazing with the web build, in that he's been extremely trusting. And with most clients, he would build the website and lock most things off. But he hasn't. He's left me full access to manage my own website because he knows I'm quite capable. Apart from the odd one or two things I've messed up and we've had to fix. But yeah, so I will be doing a lot of this work. But it has been a great working on this all together. And the vision's coming together for what I want to offer on the site as a whole. That when you think about, oh, I've got teenagers who are stressed and depressed, and we're talking about emotional awareness and feeling better with that side of it. Yes, there's things on here with the books, with the Brain Unchained. All right. But then if you're thinking, oh, as a parent, I'm stressed and I could do with some mindfulness, come on, and there's books here for you as well. So this is my original book. And this is the strategy that originally started with me, the emotional cycle diagram, etc. I'm not going to go into that too much tonight because this is about Mindfulness of Flowers. But then eventually with building this website, I was able to add courses. And this is one of the pages I was so excited about until I realized how much work there was involved in creating them. And how many hours and how many scripts and slides I had to put together and edit, but I got there. So on here, there is for everybody. You want to come on and sample what my courses are like and how they relate to that emotional cycle diagram. Start with the free emotional cycle intro. The word free says it all. I'm not charging you for that one. It takes about 10-15 minutes. It gives you a really good understanding of where this training goes in terms of the learning style and how you can relate to it. And I don't want you to sign up for bigger courses if you can't relate to the strategies that I'm using. But I'm pretty confident that 99.9% of people will see this and go, oh, wow. And they will want to know more. They really will want to know more. But again, it was doing well. I'm back. Don't move. I mustn't move my feet or anything because my wires are tetchy. So as well as the emotional awareness ones, like creating safe space for talking to teens, I have one down here, very relevant to tonight and the whole book launch issue, and that is 10 steps to beginning mindfulness. So if you're not familiar with mindfulness and the techniques and strategies, and you want to know how to apply that not only to the book, reading the book, but how to apply that to everyday life. Mindfulness is not about changing the life you have. It's about being able to find a way of living the life you have with less stress and more peacefulness and being able to find calm amongst the storm. So that is the purpose of mindfulness. And when I worked in a very busy, buzzy office full of many managers and technicians and engineers, and they were all wanted something all the time, mindfulness was the strategy that got me through. So, do you know what, today hasn't even come anywhere near any of the days I used to have back then in the office. And today's been a busy day. So mindfulness was absolutely something that got me through a very difficult job. I loved the job, don't get me wrong, but it was busy. And it was a great way for me to just recenter in between tasks, and while sitting at my desk, while I was on my way to the coffee machine or the printer, I would be using mindfulness to come back to that calm space. So coming back to there, so anybody wants to do that, you click on there to get your details, and then you can book it or goes through the cart. And anything that is on there for free, you can check out without having to put your credit card details in. But anything obviously that's paid, you will need to put your credit card details in. So it tells you on each of these, there's 12 lessons on here. And then once you've paid and come back, you will see here, like the list of topics that you have to work through, and you start working through your course. So you start your course, and as you, because I've already paid for this one, but what you do is, oh no, I need to log in. What you will do is once you come on and do your course, as you do each lesson, the only thing I want to be clear about is there's a little box that will be up the top right, a little tick box. Just tick it to say you've done the lesson when it's complete. And then by the end of it, it will trigger your notification to say you've completed that course. And if you haven't ticked those boxes, it will just say it's still in progress. But other than that, amazing, all done well being. So having thrown all of that information at you all, I'm going to give the guys here, and thank you so much for all coming, really, a chance to come back and say something, and then I will just explain what I've got with some of the special offers and things going on, because I have some special offers and some giveaways, but you're going to have to earn them. But I've got some giveaways, and we'll come back to that in a bit. I don't want to throw it all at you the minute you walk in the door. So coming back to mindfulness with flowers, and let's start with Rory. Hi, would you like to say anything, Rory? How are you finding it so far?
Yeah, it looks really well laid out, the website, and it's got a kind of Amazon feel to it, actually.
Oh, thank you.
You know, that's a good thing because it's clear and it's obvious to see what everything is. Yeah, and I love the fact that it's a cuddly book.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's a USP there.
It's hard to describe it. It really is. I mean, I've got shelves full of books here, and they're all shiny covers, very much like I had on this. But when you hold it up, you can see the problem. But when I got the matte cover on there, no issues with trying to hold it in front of the camera. It's much nicer. But it was just something about the feel of it too. So yeah, thank you, Rory. And hi, Jeff.
Hi, Kay.
Hello, long time no speak. How are you doing?
Yeah, very well. Thanks yourself.
Yeah.
Excellent. And evening, Rory and Mark.
Good evening.
Yeah, I've from what I've heard and seen so far, Kate, I think just two questions were going through my mind, really. And apologies if you've already covered this.
That's all right.
Who were you aiming the books at? Any particular category of professionals or people?
Well, that's a really good question, actually, because yeah, we did kind of cover that earlier on. Like I said, for me, although initially I started out looking at, with my first book, Brain Unchained, teenagers and parents of teenagers.
Yeah.
As parents of teenagers, adults, well, they can fit in all genres of life.
Yeah.
And so it's really about giving an opportunity for people to think about being a parent and finding that space to find calm and peace, whether it is amongst family life or a working life, and just to accept that and consider that everybody has well-being needs. And mindfulness is a great way sometimes to literally bring that to everyday life when you can't get out into nature, when you're too busy to go out on walks and holidays and other things, and sometimes you get people like myself as well who I like, because it's not obvious when I'm on camera, which my camera's gone again. Let me just get that back. I'm going to stop sharing again for a sec. Oh, hang on, now I can do it from here. There we go. Right, we're back. So yeah, so even for people like myself, it's not obvious on camera that I do have difficulty walking and getting out very far. And so sometimes when you're stuck at home, it's about having those ways to feel in contact with nature as well. With the notebooks, it's like if you imagine students who are studying and they got somewhere they want to keep very special keynotes or something, having a book with a nice cover on the desk has got to be much better than having one with a plain cover. And it's just about introducing mindfulness to every little bits of life, whether it's keeping it on your desk at work or coffee table at home. So as much as my site is that parenting teenage kind of website, it's not restricted to that, to be honest. So if anybody likes flowers, so what I'll do is very quickly, actually, thinking about this, I'll very quickly flick through here and just show some of the pictures, although we see them on the notebooks. But it starts with introduction. I really should read that tonight, though, which is a quilt. When you're saying, why a quilt? I'll come back to that. And then
okay, you might want to stop sharing so that you can show those pictures.
Ah, of course. Good point. Thank you, Rory. Good point. Yes, let me come back there. Is that better? Yay. Thank you. So yes, I got the I picked the fuzziest one of all of them to start with. It's got a nice furry flower, but just pictures faced with lots of text on each page. And the text is not something you need to read as a whole. It's something that you just pick a sentence out and use that with the flower. So for example, on this one, it says, look at the single pink flower top left. Can you see how this head is a collection of smaller, slender flowers? And if I hold that up to the camera just right, and it's talking about, oh, I can't do it on here, this little pink flower here. So it looks like one flower, but when you actually go in closer, that bit there is one flower. And they're all individual, and it's just giving that opportunity to look at it in a new light, and to just be mindful of different things, or compare the bright green leaf, which is out of focus, with the slightly darker, crisper, pointy leaf top right. So again, it's about looking at the colours on the page. So sort of soft green leaf here versus nice crispy one. And it's all the way through. So we've got like here another one, a pink. Yeah, so it says there is a perfectly formed green bud to the right. And if you look carefully, it reflects the pink from the main petals. So we look at the flower generally, but it's even looking in the bud at the little reflection of colours coming off the main flower. And it's just having those few moments to sit and let your mind come away from the day's problems and just focus on the image and pick something else out of the text. And you can know if you're really feeling it's a bad day and you want to read the whole book, I'm not going to stop you. But the whole point of this is a sort of pick and dip book. You pick it up, you dip into a page randomly. On here, we've got a nice rosebud. And again, just various sentences of text that support mindfulness with that. So that is the very simple purpose of the book, is to create mindfulness. Yeah. And you can either pick a particular favorite flower once you get to know them, or just randomly open it and see what you get for the day. And there's another one I like, the heathers, very, very close-up photograph of heathers, which are normally very tiny little flowers. But yeah, so there's nearly 50 flowers in there to be mindful with. Whereas Darker Than Dark is a selection of all kinds of photographs, from scenery and objects and flowers, all kinds of things, and some with people in the distance, or there's one with a little boy picking blossoms off the floor. But yeah, so that is the purpose. Any more questions about the book at this point? Because I'm sorry, telling you a lot, but I want to know what you want to know as well.
Yeah, part of the reason for asking that question is obviously you've got quite a network of people that do things like yoga, mindfulness, retreats and what have you. So it'd be useful to know, what you're doing with regard to the courses and what have you. I mean, it's which I think is a brilliant thing that you've done there.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
It's something that to refer other people to that are in that field, if you like, of mindfulness and wellness, maybe. So but yeah, so have you got anything else planned in the pipeline?
I do.
Yeah, good.
I do. I haven't finished yet. I have
Well
got
done.
lots planned. Haven't I, Mark?
Yeah.
I'm keeping him busy, bless him. I am. It's been
That
a
I
very
can
busy job
concur.
building as well. Mark does day build websites, and how long have we been building mine?
Oh, yeah, it's been a little while now, isn't it? The weather was just starting to get hot when we started,
Yeah, I
think,
think it's
wasn't it?
coming
Yeah.
up 4 months now.
Yeah,
Right,
probably. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's good
We
going.
were looking forward to the summer. Now we're looking back on it.
Yeah, yeah. The time has flown by this year, but yeah, he does day build websites, but mine is definitely was not done in a
That
day.
was not
It's
done.
a lot of
No.
work.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of work. So I hope people do value what we've put in there to, because I want to make it like Rory says, user friendly, and I want it that people come on, they know where to find it, they know what they want. And I've been on a 2-hour mentoring Zoom call before this, so I'm getting rather uncomfortable sitting still, so I might fidget. But one of the things we were talking about, and my head's gone. I was doing well tonight. That's just gone. Whatever I was thinking, it's gone. I'll come back to that.
I know the
Right.
feeling.
So yeah, we were talking about the vision of the website and everything, but it's taken me a long time to bring this vision together that I had probably about 7-8 years ago. And I now finally feel like I'm there with this website. So when somebody feels like, oh, I want to do something to do with well-being, and it might not be they need therapy, it's not about therapy, it's about just finding a way of finding some peace and well-being, or maybe some coping strategies. And that's where I want this to be kind of a go-to place for those things that don't quite fall under the therapy umbrella. And so we give people an opportunity for self-help, for well-being. And mindfulness to me comes under that, as well as the parenting teens or self-help books for teenagers, all comes together. But yes, other things in the pipeline. Right.
You don't want to tell me too much yet, though, do you? That's what we're.
No, it's
it might
not a
scare
problem,
me.
Mark.
I don't
Not a
expect you to give
problem.
away any trade secrets, Kate. Perhaps it might be worth us jumping on a Zoom call at some stage,
I
catching
think
up
that will
anyway.
actually, Jeff. Yeah, I think we
And,
do need a catch up. It's been a while since we spoke.
yeah, it's been a couple of years, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I know where we were going. We're saying about the yoga retreats. I know what I was thinking. So you imagine somebody going on a yoga retreat and they want to keep a journal of their yoga journey or something, or the yoga or the retreat host wants to offer a gift when they arrive. When you imagine those mindfulness notebooks as a gift arriving on a mindfulness retreat, that would be beautiful. And then the mindfulness books, as sort of complementary to that anyway. But yeah, there's so many potentials for this. So yes, do want to talk to you, Jeff. Thank you.
Look forward to
Thank
it.
you. But that's not all. Right, I'm going to go back to screen sharing for a minute because I'm just going to skip topic a minute and then I'm going to come back to what special offer I got. So bear with me while I screen share back to here.
Kay, whilst you're doing that, I'm going to have to shoot off in a couple of minutes. I'm afraid I've got another meeting at 8 o'clock. But
okay, Jeff. No, thank you. Thank you for coming along.
No, you're welcome. I'm really pleased to see what you're doing, Kay, and nice to meet you as well, Mark and Rory. Sorry, it's a bit of a fleeting visit, and but
Hey, not at all. Nice to meet you, Jeff.
yeah, I'm sure we'll meet up again sometime. Even if it is on Zoom.
Can be arranged.
Okay. Anyway, I'll hang around for a couple more minutes, Kay, and then
all right. Thank you. Thank you. So yes, coming back over here, I've got to think where I was going now. I need my website again. We're going to go back to books. So yes, on top of Mindfulness with Flowers launching tonight, 3 notebooks launching tonight, I also have a new journal launching tonight. So this is 5 books in one night. This is not something you see very often on a book launch, 5 books in one night. So although Mindfulness with Flowers is my main content one, I had this very sudden idea the other day of this journal that would support Brain Unchained. So hence it's called Brain Unchained Journal. Kind of just made sense to name it the same and add the word journal on. So that's to go along with this book. And because there is a very set strategy that I use in Brain Unchained, that I used to help my son through depression and to teach him emotional awareness. And it's like a 3-step strategy. I've tried to incorporate that in this journal as a self-help book for young adults, because I think if the teenagers, they probably need some adult support. But when you get to teenagers who've gone that little bit further and they're young adults, again, as a lot of them are very dubious about going to therapy, they might want to help themselves and do it privately, or they're not sure of the next steps to take. And my book will help them decide whether or not they can manage something themselves, or whether they do need to seek that extra support. So I never ever tell them they should not have therapy. If they need it, they need it, and it certainly encourages that. But it also gives them an opportunity to work on what they can themselves, and then the bits they can't work on themselves are the bits that they need that additional support with. So it kind of narrows it down for them a little bit first, or alongside therapy. So having created this journal, it is an A4 one, so I've made this bigger so that they've got room to keep track of everything. And I won't go too much through this. Again, I'll stick the links on the bottom of the Zoom to the website. But what I've done is create this journal with 100 pages again, because they say it takes 90 days for a new habit to stick. So to give them a chance to get this strategy from Brain Unchained cemented in here, and how to use it in everyday thinking and become part of their thought process, what I've done is taken 2 parts of my strategy, which is the set. Oh, I've gone way too far there. By the way, I was trying to zoom in and then it went very quickly. Is to take the first 2 parts of the second 2 parts of the strategy in the book are based on acronyms, which are HELPS, HELPS, and FLIGHT, FLITE. Now, the first part of the book is about understanding the emotional cycle diagram. If I just hold it up in the corner there quickly, it's a little colour diagram. And once they start to analyse their emotions and how they feel and where they are, they can then look at the second 2 parts of the strategy. And there is 2 pages in the front of the book that will briefly cover how they can use this. So they can use it standalone, or they can use it alongside the main book. But they literally use these, which stand for health, emotional, logical, physical, and social. They're the 5 things that can change in life. And when you really chunk life up, rather than breaking it down, and you start to chunk up, there are only 5 things in the world that can change emotions. So if they're feeling stressed, depressed, anxious, they've got to look at why. And there's really only 5 reasons as to why they will feel out of sync. And that gives them a chance to score from 0 in the middle to 5 or 10 on the outside, depending on how they choose to score. And they put a little mark for each of these and then draw together to create a little diagram of how their emotional cycle feels on that day. So they put the date today, they can put a word or 2 how they feel. And then they look at problem solving, how they're going to resolve those issues. And again, there are 5 reasons that are a root cause to a change, but those can also be the solutions. So whether they wish to look that day at what their root causes are or what their possible solutions are, it gives them a choice to work on this side and see how they're progressing in managing their emotions, and then to keep a little journal of why they felt that way that day. So I've done it in a very basic format, but it just gives them that opportunity to take this, which is already an exercise workbook, but to cement that thinking into everyday practice. So that's my other book that has come out tonight. Whoa, that's all 5, yay. And that I will be pushing more down the line. So when I said on all my graphics the last few weeks, and more surprises, that is now most of my surprises announced. Most of, she says. And I've got 1 more, and I haven't got anything to show you yet. Nothing. But I did order something, it just didn't come in time. What Marc and I are looking at doing is, at some point between now and Christmas, hopefully, fingers crossed, is adding an extra plugin into the shop. And it is going to be a print on demand plugin. Now, there's a lot of people do print on demand, I know, and you go on and you print a mug and it gets sent in the post. But I found an incredible website that has a plugin that will go in the back end of the shop on here. Let me just jump to the shop. We'll go to browse all. So at the moment, we've got the courses are showing in the shop as well as on the courses page. At some point when there's enough products in here, I may remove those and just leave them on courses. We've got events, and you can sort all of these by category, not there. Categories are down the bottom here, so you can sort by categories. And for now, for the shop, I've got some 3 different mindfulness colouring pages. You can download those for free. There's no price on those at the moment. But what we're looking to do is plugging in this other website into the back end of here. And the first product I've got on order is a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle, which has the lavender sunset on it on the front of one of the notebooks. Now, as a jigsaw puzzle, that is going to look awesome. I can't wait to get my hands on that. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it when I've got it yet, but I probably won't sit and do it straight away. I've got too much to do. But that is one of the things I'm looking at doing, things like jigsaw puzzles, canvas art prints, some t-shirts with mindfulness quotes and nice sayings on. We can do greetings cards and other products, but there's a number of products that we can do that to me would all plug in nicely around the well-being theme, because you're talking about being mindful, having time out, relaxing with the nice photos. What better way than with a jigsaw puzzle? You can look at it for ages. Depends how quick you do it. But again, especially, you know, with the canvas wall arts you can put up in a nice place, so you sit and watch them while you're chilling out with a herbal tea. So yes, that's one of the visions I have, is just to make this quite holistic in far as you've got your courses, you've got your books, you've got your products and events that you can book through the shop. And then the other bit that we're still working on, I've just got to finish doing, is as of today, I'm trying to think about Kay. You can now book an online session with me. And this literally went on this morning with Marc's help. And I did put the Zoom link in eventually. I found it in the end. I had to Google it, but I did find it in the end. So this now all works. You can either book a discovery call with me. So if there's something in the services you want to know more about, or you want mentoring or anything like that, but you want to do a half-hour free call first, book on here. But if you want to actually book private mentoring with me, so you've looked at the books, you've looked at all the other things, but you think, actually, I would like to work with Kay one-to-one, this is where you come and book it. And it's £60 an hour. It won't charge you here. I will invoice that for you once you've made the booking.
And we'll be changing the dollars to pounds, by the way. Just
I've done that today. Oh, I thought I had done that.
I'll enter the cash later.
Okay, we need to change some more settings. Yes, thank you, Marc. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening today that is just needs little tweaks, but on the whole, it all works. So what you'll do is you'll pick your date here. I'm sure this works. You pick a service first.
Sure.
Once you pick your service, it'll then give you a choice to pick a date. And once you pick a date, it will give you the time. So like if you pick a date with nothing available, I am only going to be working on Zoom calls afternoons and some Thursday evenings, because in October I'm starting open university. So I'm going to be doing my study in the mornings, Zoom calls and meetings in the afternoon, 4 days of the week. Note 3, so I've got Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, which actually offers about 15 hours of free booking time each week. And if somebody needs me more than 15 hours, I need to find a different way to deliver my courses. But there's 15 hours available every week at the moment, booking for Zooms. And then select your time and fill in your details down here and book. So I think that pretty much covers everything on the website today. And there's one thing that I need to do before I come off this call, and that is to read the dedication from my book and then tell everybody about the special offer that I've got on. You need to go, do you, Rory?
No, I just wanted to say that you were going to say something about the bottom of the website.
Oh, that was to Marc. Yeah, but there's a little bit on the bottom that doesn't stretch right out when it should do.
Consider it done.
He knows what I mean. He saw it.
I thought it was something you were going to tell everyone about on the website. That was all.
Might have been.
It was to do with the banner at the
In a minute, I'll
bottom.
tell
Maybe
you.
it's just an adjustment, then no worries.
Oh, right now. So basically that's it. So we've got the Mindfulness of Flowers, the 3 notebooks tonight, the Brain Unchained Journal, There will be more stuff coming in the shop later on. The booking form is on the website. It's just like, oh my goodness, we've been busy. We have been busy. But it's all come to this tonight. I'm just so pleased that the book is coming out. And so what I'm going to do is just take a moment to read the dedication from Mindfulness with Flowers before I bring up the special offer. Before I do, just to show, there is a picture of a quilt on here with a little girl, and there is a flower on there. I will come round to that in the reading. But this quilt has a great deal of special meaning for me, and the quilt is actually residing in my hearing cupboard. This is one that I have possession of now. So dedication. I'm dedicating this book to my mum, who has surrounded her life with flowers indoors and out, and with her passion for gardening. She has taught me so much about flowers, growing anything from the tiniest daffodils to a 40-foot pine tree from a seed, while encouraging wildlife to enjoy her garden as much as she does. Mum even feeds the owls nightly while Dad captures them on webcam. So I've sneaked in a few photos from their garden over the years, including her beautiful blue rose, which is in the book, and included them in here. When Mum isn't tending flowers, she has spent her life sewing, including over 20 silk embroidered flowers and a cherry tree in blossom and a daisy chain border quilted on this silk heirloom quilt. Every single flower on the quilt was chosen for its meaning. The daisy chain means children's affection, and this quilt was made in memory of the shooting at Dunblane in 1996, and it was later displayed at their local church as a fundraiser for their campaign Snowdrop. And my wish is to collaborate with my mum someday to document every meaning and detail on her silk heirloom quilt. With love and gratitude from Kay. So that is just one of the 20 squares on the quilt, and that's not even the whole square on there. But it was an incredible piece of work. It took her a whole year to make, but that was her two passions in one, the flowers and a quilt together in that. And that was why I just wanted to put my dedication to my mum for this book. So thank you, Mum. So yes, that's my reading for tonight. I am now going to bring up one last thing before we go, and that is my special offer. And here we have my special offer for the night. So thank you guys for coming. Thank you so much. And I will say now, thank you to anybody else who's actually watched all of this on the replay, because now you get an opportunity to take part in this. Anybody who skipped out early, they're going to miss out on this. But my special offer for anyone who's actually seen this through to the end is for a free notebook from me, one of the mindfulness notebooks. And to get that, I would just like you to follow the Facebook page and join the newsletter. If you don't do Facebook, I have put some links down on the second page in a minute that you can follow any one of my social media accounts and join the newsletter. The second thing is to buy the book Mindfulness with Flowers. And the third one is to wait a few days after you receive it, because otherwise it looks scammy. And I cannot ask for any nice reviews. I'm not allowed to. So I have to ask for an honest review about what you thought about the book. Now, I don't mind if the book is just on Kindle. It can be in paperback or it can be on Kindle. But thank you to anybody who does. This is my thank you to the early buyers. And for just helping me share the word as well. There will probably be something else I'll send as well. But to start with, I want to say, do those, buy the book, leave a review a few days after receiving it, and then contact me through my contact page with the details of having done that, and choose your notebook, whether you want number 1, 2, or 3. So that is my special offer, and my thank you offer, I should say, to anybody who's actually got to the end of this video. So page 2 of this PDF, and I will link this PDF to anybody who's interested. Well, no, you'll see it on the video. So if anybody needs a copy of this, contact me through the contact page or through whichever social media you go on, that'll be the best. And then I can message it to you, message the PDF back. So you can subscribe on YouTube, or you can like Facebook, follow me on LinkedIn, or you can join the newsletter, or any of those. You can do all of them if you like. I put all 3 and then I put 4 on. And they're just the brief instructions there again for following through, just to make sure that Amazon reviews must be honest and they must show no bias at all towards me. Like, you can't say, oh, I'm a friend of the author or something. So it's just got to be a genuine, honest review from a buyer's point of view. And then say, contact me through the contact page to choose option 1, 2, or 3. So thank you so much to everybody. I really am grateful, and I'm just so glad that tonight is there now. And I know there were a couple of other people trying to get in, but I've got to really apologise to the people that didn't make it as well. I need to look at how I do the bookings for future events, but that's something to think about after tonight's out of the way. And so thank you ever so much for being here. Honestly, I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. And as my gratitude for being here, I'm also offering the 10 Steps to Beginning Mindfulness course for free. Now, this course is free up until the end of this month, I think it was. So up until the end of September, this can be accessed. And again, for you guys here tonight, or anybody watching to the end, pop this code in. So make a note of this code, write it down, and you can choose 10 Steps to Beginning Mindfulness course on the website. Pop that code in and it will discount you the full £15. So I tried to make that such a beautiful thank you as well, just to show how grateful I am. I thought that was so pretty. But thank you so much to everybody, and thank you to Mark and Rory for sitting through, for Jeff for joining earlier. It was great to see him again. And yes, that pretty much concludes tonight, the launch of Mindfulness with Flowers, and 3 notebooks, and a new journal, and an introduction to all the new wonderful stuff on the website, and the new booking course, and an introduction to my superhero web designer, Mark. And I haven't said a great deal about Rory tonight, actually, but I just want to offer him a moment at the end. Thank you. I recently met Rory through some online networking, and very much in tune with what I do, but a completely different audience, is Rory's working with, I got this right, heart-centered creatives who are running their own businesses. So would you like to just briefly introduce yourself, Rory? Let me come off stop share again. Hang on a minute. There we go.
Oh, thanks, Kay. Wow, that's also so much stuff you've been doing. That's incredible. And yeah, well done for getting it all done with Mark as well. And yeah, it's fantastic progress. Yeah, and yeah, so I go by the name of Rory Lemonade, AID, to help. And I discovered I was dyslexic when I was 33. So I didn't believe I knew how to communicate very easily, especially in group situations, and had a lot of great ideas, but didn't know how to boil them down and actually communicate. So I was boiled up frustration like a champagne bottle. And so yeah, a lot of mental health issues came about, went through psychosis, and went back out of it again in my early 20s, phenomenally through 14 weeks of reflexology, and then I felt almost completely, well, I felt completely better again in a lot of different ways, and it's such an extreme change in such a short time. I was like, what else is possible to change here? So I'm fascinated with what's possible in terms of bodily health and mental, brain health and growth and all of that. So yeah, and specifically resonate with those that are neurodivergent or either knowingly or unknowingly. So I call them heart-centered creatives, because of the kind of empathetic side of the personality that wants to help others, that can get caught up in so much logic in the world when their heart wants to just sing and dance and laugh and connect. And so yeah, my mission is to help 100 million neurodiverse creatives spread their inspiration by 2033. So I've got yeah, a little bit more time for that to happen. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for giving me the space to share that, and thanks, Kay. And yeah, we're I can see how moving forwards there's a teamwork in what I do, and information I want to share, books I want to write, and as well. So yeah, looking forward to all of that. Thank you.
All right, Rory, thank you. No, that's amazing. And like I say, you really do get the vision of people going into business with all of those battles that sometimes they've had all their life without even being aware of it, and being able to help them move forward past that. And I've got to admit, I've been in the same position, and not that I normally share my age that much on camera, but I'm 57 now, and it was only 2.5 years ago that I realised I've been ADHD all my life as well, and I'd had no idea. And it does kind of hit you a little bit, and it's like, and then you think, actually, sometimes that's part of the reason why I've got the strengths I've got, because of the challenges that I've had to overcome and build those strengths against. But then it's what to do with them. And then you have that conflict about, well, if I've been all that time in my life not knowing, am I really the right person to talk about it? And there is a lot of internal conflict goes on. And yeah, Rory is absolutely great at helping people through that. He is, absolutely. And as even though I've only known you to speak to for probably less than a couple of months now, it was about 7 weeks, isn't it, since we first spoke. You know, when you know, and it's the same when I first met Marc and I had a conversation with him about websites. And I said to him that day, if I ever need my website building, I'm calling you. When you meet somebody and they really know the topic, you know it. And yeah, well done to you. That's quite some journey. So thank you to both of you.
Hey,
really
pleasure.
You being here tonight.
Good to be part of it.
Thank you. No, you're very welcome. Thanks, Marc. And I can sigh a big sigh of relief now and say thanks to everybody who's actually managed to get through this from the viewing end later on YouTube. And I think we're going to gracefully say thank you, everybody, and good night.
Yeah, good night.
Right. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Amazing.